basic fundamentals of barefoot trimming to me is just simply getting the foot under the leg as much as possible. It gets really technical when you're talking tendons and ligaments and everything. I believe that God had a good plan when He built the horse. You keep it simple, you keep it where it's supposed to be, and problems don't happen as much. First thing I do is I'm making a plan when I pick the foot up. I'm not just going at it. I'm getting off anything that's in his way. I do like a really tidy frog, but sometimes taking too much is an issue. So if it's not hurting him, I'm going to leave it just because it's nice and hard and firm. It may not be as pretty as I'd like, but it's very functional. I'm nipping at a 45, staying on the outside of the white line, coming back to the highest and widest point of the frog. This is the highest, this is the widest. So whenever I'm rasping, I'm going to get it back to the highest and widest point, and the reason for that is because I need the frog in action, hitting the ground. I don't want all the weight on the frog or all on the heel. I want it shared load. It helps to do a good job nipping it, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You can rasp it. When you rasp it, I prefer to do it at a 45. The difference between trimming for shoes and for barefoot is that when we shoe for shoes, it's going to be nice and flat, just like that, because the shoe's flat and we need a perfect marriage. We'll even burn it on for that reason. But when it comes to trimming, I don't want to come in this toe callus right here. I want it nice and hard, and I'm going to bevel the whole outside of the foot, not coming into the white line, which is right there. Flat heels, 45 it, should feel nice and smooth. And I'll get the rest of it on the top side. Check my heel length right there. Looks pretty good. Final balance, I'm going to check it like this. You always check it with your off hand, because if you use this hand, you're going to pull it away because your shoulder's in the way, and then if you grab the hoof, you can move it and manipulate it. So you'll make sure that you just grab him at the fetlock or above it, and you just slowly look down it, and we're T-squaring it. We're looking this way, and we're checking balance across. And it's close, but it's still a little high. Balance is the most important thing when you're trimming a horse, because you're manipulating how he's going to walk. So we want to make sure that we're staying out of his way as much as possible, because if we trim him one way, we're going to overload the whole side of the foot. There's a push for a pull on everything on the horse. There's tendons that run down the front that work with the tendons that run down the back. Side, ligaments, everything has a reason. So a palmar angle is what we're really after. We just want a nice bony column lined up to where the foot is essentially under the leg from side to side and front to back as much as possible. Okay, so now we're going to finish our 45. We're going to pick the foot up and set it on the front stand. So we've already got a 45, as you could tell, that's right here, but we need to blend all this in to where it's not going to break up. So we just make another 45 just a little bit higher, and we march all the way around the foot. Being careful not to over trim him, but we want to make sure we clean all this stuff up so it can grow out. Because if we leave a sharp edge, it's going to have a really high chance of breaking off. When you're done, you should be able to run your hand around it and it feel good. If there's any sharp spots, you probably need to revisit it. So on a foot like this that's broken up, over trimming is a realistic problem. So I'm going to stop there, even though it's not perfect. One way that I check my eye is with a laser level. You do not need one. It's just a fun trick to check your eye. You can check your length. You can see how, you can check proportions. You can see a lot of things. I feel like we've got the horse proportion pretty well, that this side is as big as this side. But one thing I need is I need a nice 45 all the way around. As you can see that my rasp sticks in there. I feel like we've done that.